Hello and welcome to Game 33 on my cat-judged road to 1000, an experiment in overthinking, underperforming and being publicly reviewed by my cats. You are actually hearing my voice over again today because third time I'm forgetting to turn on my microphone. But I noticed somewhere along the game, so we will have some original audio coming in later during the game. So for now I will try to just do the voiceover and I will be able to see the cat evaluation, which is usually quite some fun. So yeah, I was still recovering from yesterday's game, which really was horrible. But I got the white pieces and I'm starting as usual with d4 to prepare my London. I think my opponent already started with a long think here, which is interesting. Maybe they don't see d4 too often. But yeah, so they start with a very timid move. I actually don't know what kind of opening this is. I think it was some Horwitz or something. I think I checked it. And I was shortly thinking, should I do my regular London or should I actually just take the center? But since I'm not familiar with the normal center opening, I just did my regular London move again. And then just waiting to see what else happens. I should count how many often I get like a really normal opening, which doesn't seem to happen at all. But here with the knight from black, I could just follow my usual pattern so far. So I at least was able to push out some quick moves in the beginning, which is always my goal. I was actually pointing at Pebbles behind me because she was being a little bit annoying and pressing her speech buttons, but you don't hear this now, so all good. So I bring out my knight, still part of my London. All looked relatively familiar to me. They push another pawn. I think they just always want to protect from my bishop going to b5, which is fine. So I'm also happy to pick another place for the bishop. And I was wondering at this point why they're so timid in pushing their pawns just like one piece and not doing really anything else. I didn't quite understand what kind of opening they are doing here, but at least it didn't prevent me from doing my regular moves. I only quickly checked if there was any big opportunity, but I was not going to do any experiments today. I just wanted to make sure for now, if they don't do any weird attacking things, that I would just bring out my pieces and get some decent position for the middle game. They brought out their second knight. Again, this still looked fine to me, so I continued with my regular setup. Have my triangle set up there, and then was considering where to put my bishop as the next move. With this bishop move, I was actually reminded that I need to push this h-pawn. I don't know why exactly that is anymore. I guess it's some weird combination of them bringing their knight down, and in combination with the bishop, something weird happens. But I remembered if I have this configuration with the bishop and the knight for black and the rook and no castling happened on that side, on both sides, then this would be the pawn push should happen to h3. So now bringing out my second bishop. I was considering between the two squares, c4 or d3, and settled on this one. No real reason. I think I also want to check if this was actually the right move. So I think there's still some things to watch out for. But yeah, I was now planning to probably castle. And also push this pawn in the middle because they gave me a lot of room there in the center. I felt like pushing the middle pawn, like the e-pawn, would be good. We did a quick check into Sky, who was hiding her face, probably because she's still embarrassed for my game yesterday, which she has every reason to be. And now they did another weird pawn push. I was looking at this for a few seconds, just trying to figure out what they wanted to do, and I have still no idea what the plan was with that pawn push. Because they already I don't know, maybe they wanted to block my queen from going to a4, but yeah, not really sure. So I was still considering then castling and pushing the pawn and just seeing what I could do after that. So I decided on castling first, just to have like a pretty regular opening, so technically almost done. So I would only need to move my queen somewhere to connect the rooks, but I think I was looking at pushing my pawn before that. Or as you can see, maybe bringing the rook to the e-file before pushing the pawn to give it some more protection. My opponent was actually thinking quite long as well. For me, this is always nice because it gives me time to think as well. They made another funny pawn push. I see this a lot, where my opponent just pushes both the a and the h pawn to maybe protect from the bishops going somewhere. I mean, it does close in the area where you can move. So for example, I couldn't put my knight to g5, but I didn't have any plans on doing this anyways. I was really more focused on the center here and how to best tackle this. So I was wondering, should I push the pawn first, or should I move the rook? And was also wondering about the danger of them pushing their pawn to g5 and attacking my bishop. But I noticed I can go away with the bishop. I have safe squares for that. So I still have to see what I decided on. I thought I was going to push the pawn now. But yeah, so I did end up pushing the pawn first. And I think I wanted to push it probably one more time. But I was kind of expecting them to push the g-pawn now to attack my bishop. Or maybe push another pawn in the middle. But let's see what they decide to do. Yeah, just calculating a lot there about what could happen if I push the pawn. Yeah, I had a lot of pieces pointing to e5, which I think in general is a good thing. So this surprised me actually a little bit, that they moved their knight there to attack my bishop. I had been waiting for the pawn, but to be honest, they shouldn't push the pawn, right? It's like in front of the king if they can do this with the knight. But I was a little bit surprised. But again, I did know that I have some safe squares. And I think there really wasn't another option. I actually thought I could go to g3, but I'm glad I didn't do this because this is also attacked by the knight. So there really only was h2. And the bishop was just completely unprotected at the time, so I don't know why I was looking so much around, because there was no other way than just protecting my bishop at the time, I think. So now waiting how they're going to respond, and I was still making plans for the center, because again, I have so many pieces just pointing at e5, so that looked quite interesting to me. I think at this point I probably didn't even consider moving the rook over to support, because again, like having 3 pieces there should be enough. I was looking also at this diagonal, because right now there was kind of a mate threat possible, because if I push the pawn again, which I wanted to do anyway, this would also open the diagonal. So I was also considering moving my queen to c2 to support the bishop, and maybe if they didn't pay attention, give a checkmate Oh no, it wouldn't have been a checkmate because it's the bishop. So yeah, that was completely wrong then of me. I noticed this now. Like the whole time I was thinking this would be checkmate. But at least it would have been a nice threat if I had gotten my bishop up there. Geez, I'm yawning like every 10 seconds right now. I'm not sure where this is coming from. Again, the opponent is taking their time. They actually have less time than I have. This always feels comforting. I don't think I played faster necessarily. They just thought as long as I did. But in any case, it's always good, again, because I can think on my opponent's time as well. So it's much less pressure. And it just doesn't stress me as much. Because usually at this point in time, I'm already like 5 to 7 minutes behind my opponent. So I decided on c2 and then push the pawn probably later, still thinking I would have a possible mate. And I think my opponent saw this threat. I mean, it wasn't a mate threat, but maybe they also thought it was a mate threat. Or at least they thought it was a decent enough threat. So I was continuing to making plans of getting my rook over. I was happy that my rooks were connected at least, so in any case that should have been a good development. But as you can see, Pebbles didn't think so. It was an inaccuracy. And I actually don't know why. I don't see how the position really shifts between the queen being on d1 versus c2. Again, for me, this is an improvement because my queen cannot be attacked in any way. I did take away one protector from the knight on f3, but it's also not attacked. So I didn't understand why this was an inaccuracy. Maybe that's too subtle for me to figure out. So they bring over their rook. Again, I don't know if they were afraid of the bishop and queen, or if they really just wanted to get the file or support the file, which might be more might be closer to the truth. So I also brought in my rook as another supporter. So for the pawn push now, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces supporting e5. So I was quite happy, I think, with that. But beyond that, I didn't have plans just yet. So I was just gonna see what happens if I push. I was also looking now at pushing my g-pawn to g4, because I was looking at the configuration and I was looking at pieces that were loose, and I noticed the knight doesn't have any protector, and they also don't really have any squares right now to go to. So I was looking at this pawn push as maybe prioritizing this over e5, just to possibly trap the knight. And now I was disconnecting, and I didn't even notice. Like, I was talking and thinking and talking and thinking, and I didn't even notice I was somehow disconnected, and I was getting a little bit scared because it took a long time, and I didn't want to lose that many points, because I think I was like, if I lost the game, I would be losing 9 points, and I didn't want to lose it by disconnecting. If I lose, I lose. Fair. But this would be horrible, and I usually don't have unstable internet connections. I was really surprised about this. So still looking at both options, the pawn push and the pawn push in the middle and the pawn push on the G file. But it's still my opponent's turn. So I was still... This is why I was looking at multiple configurations, I guess. because I didn't know what they were going to do. And they were thinking for a very long time here, I believe. I will have to check how many minutes they spent, but as you can see, I'm up 4 minutes here. So that's quite a good advantage. And I don't know what they were seeing. I don't know if they saw that I could trap their knight. I don't think they did. But maybe they were also just calculating all the stuff that could happen in the center. For me, this was actually quite complex to see. So they pushed this pawn, and I was quickly thinking, should I take back? But I don't think that would have been to my advantage because they had 3 pieces looking at this. They have the queen, they have another pawn, they have... Oh no, they only have 2 because I don't know if I also calculated the knight, but they have 2. They have another pawn to take with, and then the queen could take back that pawn. So I wouldn't be gaining anything. So I wasn't looking at this. I was still considering my trapping move, which still looked interesting to me. I don't know how dangerous this was because I don't know if I saw that they could also kind of fork me with e4. But I did the move, and you can see in my face that I was not happy with this move at all because I noticed when I pushed this that this was the pawn in front of my king, and I was like, oh my god, did I just make a huge mistake by exposing my king in this way? But as you can see, Sky tells me it's a great move. So happy about that. And I think at some point now also the regular audio should pick up again. I actually don't know if I would notice, but I know it was during this move. Oh yeah, I will notice because I will fumble around with my microphone. But I was really concerned if I did the right move here. I was asking Sky what she was thinking live. I didn't know that Sky had already replied with a great move. She doesn't look impressed there, so I didn't know if things were okay. And my opponent was again thinking for a very long time here. And Sky is going back to sleep, as she should, on her warm heating. So yeah, was going slowly back to calculations. Just a lot going on in the center. There's Pebbles stealing my armrest. She was being very annoying today during the game. But yeah, I think right about now I should notice that my microphone is not working. I don't even know how I realized that. Probably because the receiver screen wasn't turned on or something. But yeah, opponents still thinking. I guess they were trying to think about how they could save their knight. I don't know if I was seeing things because at first I thought they could do absolutely nothing. But then I think I saw, but maybe this is what I'm going to tell once the audio is back on, that they could move their bishop to g5. But yeah, let's see. I think I'm turning on my audio now. Awesome. I was noticing that my sound wasn't working until now. So I guess I will have to voice over the first part of my game again. But yeah, let's see. So I was just wondering if I made a mistake actually by pushing this pawn right in front of my king. But it's so tempting because of the knight here, because I think I should win this. But I always miss something. But again, they cannot go here. They cannot go here. They cannot go here because of this. They cannot go here because of this. So I think I should win the knight. And then I have other thoughts of, I mean, I'm kind of wanting them to take here so I can bring my bishop here. And then maybe take the knight here and have this fork. So I have a lot of dreams right now. But they usually get destroyed within one move of my opponent because I'm probably missing something fancy that they could do. So they could, for example, come here. Then I would still take, they can take and I would take back. So I guess that would be equal then. And they could actually grab my, no, they cannot grab my pawn right away at least, but that pawn would be in danger. So I think they should just come over with their bishop here. Oh, but I can also, yeah, I could take with the knight. But then they take here and then I take here. They could also come here. Yeah, so if they come here, I would still take here first. And then let them take here. And then I have the option of either taking with the knight, but I think I leave my knight where it is. I think it's fine there. Oh! Okay. So they did this. I'm still gonna take the knight, I think. And then maybe they want to take this pawn. And if they take this pawn, I mean, so far I still have this. So, Pebbles, what are you doing? So this pawn is unprotected then. Could also take here first. And then I'm attacking two pieces. They have three defenders here. I only have two, like take, come down here. So okay, so I'm taking this and I'm losing a pawn instead, and maybe I'm getting into a dangerous situation here. I'm not sure. I don't really want there, but I think I will still do it. Do they have a good follow-up? Everything is on the dark squares here pretty much. They could come here then. Yeah, I'm not too happy with my outlook at the moment. What if I take here first? they have 2 defenders on this. No, they have 1 defender on this, which is the queen, so the queen could come down here. But then I could attack with this. Should I do this? Take this, then I'm still attacking this and this. Okay, let's do this. Now they have this fork. So I'm gonna do this now, as I said. Yes. So where can they go? Maybe 1 step back just to protect the knight. But I don't have a clear plan anymore. I mean, I still have this knight, technically. They still can grab this pawn. Little cutie. Oops. Did I just do this or did they move? My time is running. So they have 2 on this now. So I should see how I can get some protection over there. But I can still attack them. So I could go here. I don't know if they want to come back here. But I think this is what I'm gonna do. Then they can come down here. So let's see. No, they cannot. They have to move their queen first. But then I need some more protection for this before I can tackle this one. And I don't really know where to get this. There are 4 attackers on this now, right? This, this. And they have 3 defenders. No, also 4. So What if I go here? It's protected twice at the moment. It's not attacking anything really. I could go here. Keeps the pawn from pushing forward. But the thing is, like, what do I want to protect? I want to protect kind of this, but I don't know how. I could come here, but then they could finally take. I'm just going to do this for now. It's probably not a good move, but I'm not quite sure what to do. They should take me now, I think, because if they take me, they can kind of free their knight. I would take back here probably. But what can I do as well? Could also bring my rook over here. So what they do? Oh, they came in there because this is now not. I can take this, right? So I think this is what I'm gonna do. They take back, of course. Then I'm gonna take here. They can take this knight, by the way. So for now, what's the currently equal material? I can take the rook, they can take my knight. But this is check first. So my knight is still not protected, so I might want to save that one. I think I'm gonna come here. This is also protecting my bishop again, but then they can attack me here with the knight. And then I can take, so I'm gonna come here with my queen. They actually cannot take the bishop. they can do this. So I'm gonna have to take the knight. And then I'm gonna take this bishop. Or do I have anything more fancy I can do? Or do they have any checkmates or something? Do they have any mean ideas? I take here, they can come here, then I take... So I think I should be safe. Okay, they resigned. Oof! Wow, okay. That felt exhausting, but happy. Just very curious, of course, about the evaluation, which we will do right away. Okay, so let's start with the analysis. We are back in the 800 for the 4th time, I think. We're really going in and out. Let's hope we can make some proper headway soon. Time usage, I guess, well, we only had like 24 moves, so I don't even know if it's good. My opponent did have less time though, like he was thinking more than me, that this might be a first. We have a first queen blunder, no queen blunder, don't blunder saying that. And then let's see what the numbers say. 61%. I'm not happy with these numbers like anymore. This is just bad. And my opponent 52%. So this doesn't look like it was a good game. I had 2 greats, 3 misses, 1 blunder, and again the rating is below the actual rating. This is so, like, I cannot even be happy about winning if it was such a bad game again, and my opponent played like a 250. This is nothing to be proud of. I'm sorry. Let's see. So, not great moves in the opening. I should look into this a little bit more closely. So all just kind of okayish moves. So this was actually best move. So maybe I remembered this correctly, that whenever they do this configuration and the castling hasn't happened on either side, that this is then the best move for some reason. The castle, which was good. My castling was also good. I should have pushed this other pawn. Okay. Would never have gotten the idea. Going back here was the best move. Nice. It always feels so passive, but still it was like before I let myself get chased around. It's probably better to just bring it to a safe space. You wanted me to put the queen there just a few moves ago. Now it's a mistake. So you allowed the opponent to force weakening the pawn structure around the king. I guess they missed that. I would not have thought that this is a miss. They should have pushed this pawn. Huh. Same, also a miss. I also should have pushed the pawn instead. And then this was a blunder for them. And this was great. This is good because I remember I was really worried about this being a mistake because I'm pushing the pawn in front of the king and maybe opening myself up to some danger. But this was then actually a great move. This was still the best move, and then taking here also best. So this is nice. This is nice to see. I should have taken this pawn. I think I was, oh no, I was protected here, so I could have taken it and attacked this, but yeah, makes sense. An accuracy by them. How would this have helped me? They could just have taken. They could just have taken it with the queen. I did not have a protector there, so I don't know why this would have been the best move. Oh my, this was that bad? They wanted me to give a check, but I didn't consider this anymore because they just move and then? No, I didn't. It's always when I don't see the follow-up. I don't usually give checks just for check's sake. I also want to see that I have some kind of follow-up, because if I'm getting into this territory where I'm maybe not even protected anymore properly, I mean, I would have been by the queen so far, but I usually don't tend to do that. So then they also missed. Yeah, they should have taken here, and they would have taken back. And I thought this would have, I didn't think this could put me at such a disadvantage. But I also didn't follow up correctly. I should still have given a check. Why? They can just take in this case or just move away. I don't understand. No, I don't understand. This was a blunder. And then I did this move. Why was this great, by the way? Is this the discovered attack that they mean here? No, this was already there. So why is this oh, this. Yes, this is also why I did this, I think. Because I, of course, can be taken by the pawn. But I have this. They take, I take. They had to move. And then this is a blunder. So I was probably winning. And this was a blunder. Yeah, I should have taken, because I didn't see this, I think. I didn't see this angle here. I should have just taken, I guess, right? No, they wanted me to attack the queen again. Then I guess they... Yeah, I was just really lucky in this game that they missed literally everything. And I think... And I still didn't see it. I should have taken with the pawn. Wait, but then they can take my queen, and then I can take back. Okay. Yeah, I always miss these calculations, because I did see this, but I was like, oh no, they can take my queen. But then I take it back, and then I win the knight. Such horrible calculation skills, like really horrible. Board vision horrible, time management horrible, calculation skills horrible. I don't know how I even got here. So this was also not good. And then this was not good. Like, I thought this would be a great move. Like, how is this not good? They still wanted me to attack the... because of this diagonal here. But I mean, I still won the rook either way, right? No, they could have moved away now with the rook. Yeah, they're right. I mean, yeah, this would have been better. Oh, what a horrible game. It didn't feel that horrible during the game, but the review... Oof. I don't know how to improve. No idea. But anyways, we take the win. Oh, this was a 718. Okay, so seriously no reason to be proud of this game at all. So embarrassing, so embarrassing. Yeah, I should stop complaining. I'm just getting into bad moods each day, which I don't want to. But I'm just so disappointed in my gameplay. So I guess I will listen to the little girl now and give them some food, which will make me happier. And then see you next time.